Today we have a couple of interesting rehouses. We need to rehouse unexpected scorpion babies that unfortunately came with a price, an unexpected price, and a couple of tarantulas are in need for bigger enclosures. This will actually be a preparation for a full collection tour that I will be recording tomorrow. But since I already mentioned that last video is going to be a full collection tour, you are seeing this video after the full collection tour. But in that video all these tarantulas were already in their new enclosures. And also I need to ask you a quick question before we start with all of this. You hear the crickets, right? In the background. I actually really enjoy that sound, but I noticed that a lot of you are annoyed by it. So I will make a poll and put it right here. And you vote if you find these crickets irritating or pleasant. And of course, if majority finds it irritating, I won't be getting new ones once I'm done with this. So now let's go with the rehouses. The light, the camera. Today on the menu, we will put this Harpactira pulchripes male in slightly bigger enclosure. Unfortunately, no one in Croatia needs a male and no one wants to buy one, and Darko is also selling two already, so I don't know if I will manage to find a girl for this guy. Until then, for him I at least want to have an enclosure so he can wander around a bit and not be so in tight space. We will also rehouse two of the Lampropelma violaceopes females, and in the same time this will be an experiment. Here is the second female, since I'm not really sure what sort of enclosure they need. It seems that they will always try to dig and bury themselves, but I have seen pictures from their natural habitat and there were pictures of them living in the holes on the tree, so I'm not really sure. So that's why one will be housed in completely burrowing tarantula species type enclosure, so with a lot of substrate. Everything here will be just filled with substrate, and the other one will be housed in, I don't know if you remember, but in this enclosure I housed my giant Asian mantis male that died like a month ago. He was mature for some time, so it was expected. I had him inside and now the enclosure is empty since he died. So I will tweak it a bit, remove these branches, add this corkbar tube and make it a classic arboreal tarantula setup. And we will see what they will do with their enclosure. So there will be an update eventually once they settle a bit. But I'm currently in the process of making like bigger arboreal enclosures for them. And I really want to see how they will use the enclosures so I can make a better decision for their permanent enclosures. Then we have two more tarantulas. One is sling nhandu coloratovillosus, and the other one is also sling hapalopus species Colombian large. I think that's their name. So they will both get a bit bigger enclosures. And the last thing that it was actually unplanned for this video, I just found it out. You know, in this enclosure I have my Tityus stigmurus scorpion, but unfortunately I no longer have my Tityus stigmurus scorpion. Instead, I have a bunch of baby Tityus stigmurus scorpions. You see, a lot of babies on her back, and I wasn't sure if this species actually dies while giving birth. Some animals do that, but it seems that that is not the case with this species, and I don't know, it can only be an age of female. This was actually my first scorpion, and it was about that size when I got it, maybe a bit bigger. There is exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down here is 7. And I believe on cork, here on cork we have another one. So 8 babies in total. Even though I'm sad that my first scorpion died, she gave birth to 8 more scorpions. So I'm not entirely sad, like completely sad. I never paired her, but they are, let me just remind myself how the word is pronounced. Parthenogenetic. They are parthenogenetic, and that means that they do not need to breed in order to have babies. I won't go into scientific details because I don't know them. In a nutshell, they can just have babies just like that. I want to have babies and poof, I have babies. I guess that's how it works. So they are actually communal species, which means that we will put them all inside of this one enclosure and raise them communally. That should be a fun thing to do, right? So we will also make an enclosure for them and rehouse them. First, let's start with Harpactira pulchripes male. He will just get some substrate and he will be fine. You know, males, they don't really hide. They just want to find a girl for some sexy time and that's it. That is everything that it is on their mind. And he will probably web the entire area. They are old world, so I need to be really careful, although I noticed that he can be really defensive sometimes. We'll see what is his mood today, his current mood. Hey mister, let's give you a bigger enclosure. I will do it some like this. Are you alright? Here, go up. Let me help you with that. There we go. This was fairly simple. And now he will probably just drop down. Or I will need to poke him a bit. Go, go. Go, 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 go. And don't freak out. Come on, don't be like that. Please go down. It is your... Up. He really wants to go up. What about if we do it like this? Is it really that hard to cooperate? Please. Just go the other way. Yes, thank you. Will you bolt if I open the lid? Or I can take a few shots of you. So a couple of close-ups before he decides to bolt. Check out his carapace. Pretty nice stuff. Although females are prettier. And this is the thing, on the pictures they often look like gold coloration, but in person, at least to me, they look more like greenish than goldish. I don't know, it can be just a personal preference. Now these two slings, this one should be fairly easy. It is the nhandu coloratovillosus. I noticed that once they get to a certain size, nhandu species don't really hide that much and don't really dig. Go, go, little guy. Poke, 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 poke. Yes, go. There. Do you like it? Look how many space to move around. I'm always excited with tarantula when tarantula gets more space to move around. Even though they don't really care too much about that, you still feel like, I don't know, it's also a human thing, I guess. Now this one can be potentially bolty. It is the hapalopus species Colombian large. Let me see if I'm pronouncing that right. Hapalopus, not hapalopus, hapalopus. Often when I'm feeding them, when I open the enclosure, this species will often wander around. Let me see how... Ooh. Don't be like that, please. Just calmly, yes. What you... I was about to say bite that thing, but it actually bolted like crazy. Please now, don't do that stuff. What? No. I can already see its attentions. Yeah. Not cool, bro. Not cool. Can you just go inside now and be a bit more chilled? I have a feeling that... Oh my god. Please. What is your problem? Yes. Now stay. Stay. Come on. Why? Why is that so hard? Just, yeah, gently, slowly. No. I said no. Just appreciate the enclosure. Can you do that, please? Take a quick peek because this is really pretty species and I want for you to get a nice look. You see how pretty they are. And they kind of remind me on a wolf spider. I don't know why, maybe because of the carapace color or something. You can almost mistake it for a wolf spider, for some cool wolf spider. Now let's close it before this gets more crazier. Now let's move to more stressful rehouses. Because these two girls, they can also be crazy like that. First we will do the simple one in the fossorial setup. You see, nothing more, nothing less. Just ton of substrate, and as I always mention, just some starter burrow on side. There, now let's see how this one will go. They were actually a tiny slings when I got them, and now they are still far from maximum size. They can grow really big. Maybe if I just put it like that and point the tarantula in the right direction, she will actually go in the right direction. You know that sometimes it happens. Did I say the species name? It is Lampropelma violaceopes. Oh, she is not amused, but if she remains calm like she currently is, maybe, just maybe, this will be a really sweet rehouse. Oh, yes. It looks like it will be like that. Perfect. With zero effort. Perfect result. And look where she went. Directly in the hole. Awesome. And I also noticed in last Monday's video, tarantula guide video, a lot of you enjoyed when I was saying holes, 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 holes. Hilarious. You will see if she will actually enjoy this setup more than this one will enjoy this setup. Not that they will actually be able to tell me, but I don't know. I assume that I will be able to tell. Now this enclosure, you see it is already alright. We have plants inside and unfortunately they did dry a bit because after the mantis died, I kind of forgot that I have this enclosure filled with live plants. They need water, you know, to survive. So I wasn't really watering it as often as I should, and the plant did dry up a bit, but it is not dead. So we have this corkbark tube that it will just go in the substrate like that. Perfect. This should be the enclosure. Now let's introduce the tarantula. I will do the same method. Hopefully it will yield the same result. Hey, I hope that you are all right. Okay. I need you to go up. Yes. Yes, exactly. Let's get some close-ups. Still far from the real blue coloration that adults have. Adults look amazing, but you see the pattern on the abdomen. Something like that, but with a lot of blues. Not the music blues, but blue color, blue tint. Let's go. Why did you stop? Yeah. That would be it regarding the tarantula rehousing. Few more nice close-ups. My hands. Why they need to be so shaky? I'm so sad that I don't have like a stable hands. It would make my life so much easier. But I would call this, don't backpedal. I would call this rehouse successful. Let's close it off. There. I had a small plastic piece that I actually placed like here, so it would, a small bolt. It would raise this glass like this, and therefore there would be like a cross ventilation, because on top I had holes, but on front I have nothing. So when it was risen like this, that would enable a cross ventilation. I need to find that plastic piece. Now let's move into a final rehouse of the day. This one will be for scorpions. So I just have slightly moist substrate, cork bark, so they can hide under it. You see it is like this shape, and I have this piece of cork bark. I will put that thing like here because this species actually requires that in order to molt. Because they will like stand here when they are molting and let gravity assist them in molting. So I will take the female and put her here. And then we had one on the cork bark. Oh no. Their sting is actually really nasty, so I need to be careful. There. So I'm not sure if I should just push them from their mom or not. I think I will do that because she will start to decompose, and that is not a good thing to have in a moist enclosure. So let's just get them off her back. Hello, sorry guys, but you need to move from your mom and find your place to stay. Find your new place to stay. Oh, this is so sad. I'm sorry. Sorry for doing this, but unfortunately there is no other way. This is how a dead Tityus stigmurus looks like. I will try to preserve her body. I will put her in the fridge first, and then I will see what I will do about that. But I would like to take a macro lens and get a few nice close-ups of babies and stinger. Just a second. Okay, let's do this. Look at that. Look at all the hairs that are on the tail. I never actually spotted that. And this is the tip of the tail. This goes like plop. And you are in big trouble. Front side, tiny eyes, and tiny mandibles actually in the mouth, you see? I will try to point these, they can actually move, you see? And they also use them as pincers, like interesting stuff. Let's get some close-up of babies. Here is one, look how tiny it is. Let me just see if you can see it moves. To be honest, I was expecting that the female will molt a few more times and become a bit bigger, but apparently that was the maximum size. Let's measure her. Her body is like 2.5 centimeters, 2.8 actually, and from mouth to end of the tail it's 6 centimeters. So really small scorpion. But it is cool that these babies can be kept communal, so we can experiment with that a bit. It will actually be a nice project. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel even more, there's a Patreon page. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload every Monday and Friday. So see you again soon. Bye bye.